Hello fellow simmers and Pokemon Masters, Eevee-simming here, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing something a little different than what I normally do. I'm doing my very first CAS video. Fair warning, I'm not any good at CAS. I honestly tried. I tried really hard to not just do presets and just randomize everything. I really tried to get everything. But today we'll be creating characters from one of my favorite animes, Fruits Basket. First we're going to start off with Miss Tohru Honda. A little backstory about Miss Tohru Honda. She had recently lost her mother, then went to live with her grandfather. But her grandfather had just started renovations on his house. So he asked Tohru if she didn't mind staying with a friend for a little while. And she's like, yeah, sure, totally. I can do that. She has two best friends, but she didn't want to be a burden. So she bought the cheapest tent she could find and pitched it in the woods outside the Soma's house. Little did she know her life was about to change forever. Tohru is the most kind, loving person you would ever meet. She's always so cheerful no matter what happens to her. She's always upbeat, always smiling. I see a lot of myself in Tohru. I don't use any CC, so it's really hard to capture the exact outfits that she wore, but I tried to pick things that I knew she'd probably wear, and I did my best with everybody's school uniforms. Hey, I tried. I don't use CC. For some reason, it doesn't like my game, and I don't know. I'm honestly so excited for Season 2 to come out. Season 2 comes out on April 6th. I am so excited to see more from Tohru, Yuki, and Kyo, and even Sugure. I honestly tried my best with Tohru. I did try to make her paler a couple of different times, but she just looks so sickly. So I decided to just keep her a couple shades darker than she traditionally is. She is normally very pale. Now moving on to Mr. Kyo Soma. He is honestly one of my favorite characters in Fruits Basket. He has a good growth story, I feel like. He opens up to really no one but Tohru and his master, which is the guy who raised him. I had a really hard time finding a good hairstyle for Kyo, and later you'll see that with Yuki as well. I was just struggling, and I was struggling to find a good uniform shirt for them. I kept going back and forth. It doesn't make any sense. But here's a little bit about Kyo. Kyo's kind of a troubled kid. He has a hard time controlling his emotions. He is often hot-headed. He always gets in fights with Yuki because he wants to beat Yuki so he can become an official part of the Zodiac. Because Kyo, his spirit, he's the year of the cat, which technically doesn't exist because the rat kind of screwed him out of that, per se. So the cat versus the rat spirit have hated each other for generations in the Soma family. No matter how hard Kyo tries, he can never beat Yuki. No matter how hard he trains, no matter how much effort he puts in, he's never to par with Yuki, which is honestly really sad because Kyo started doing everything before Yuki, but Yuki immediately started doing it. Here's our final up-close look at Kyo, and I made sure to include his signature beads, and if you don't know what those beads are for, I will keep that to myself for now because it's kind of a spoiler for the last episode of the first season. Well, speaking of Yuki, aka the prince, the perfect year of the rat. He is honestly every girl's dream. He is almost perfect in every way. I honestly had a hard time picking out Yuki's hairstyle as well. It's just, even though I have all the packs, it's still I feel very limited. I would like to use CC, but every time I've tried to download it, it's like, no, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna work. And I'm like, okay, but that's okay. I don't need CC. I kind of like things kind of plain. As you can see now, I'm kind of going back and forth between Yuki and Kyo because I didn't realize the shirt I put on Kyo had like a logo on the back, and I was like, nope, that can't do. So I kept going through different options of white shirts. Honestly, I spent like way more time on it than I should have, but hey, I wanted it to look just right, especially for using absolutely no CC. So I tried my best. As you can see, I went back to Kyo and I made sure he had all of his outfits had the beads on them. Well, back to Yuki. Yuki is kind of shy and doesn't really open up to anyone. He's very quiet, but he's also the most kind person. Everyone who meets Yuki pretty much falls in love with him. Just kind of strange, both male and female. He is the year of the rat. I personally was born the year of the rat, and I used to be so upset all the time about it. Like every Chinese New Year in art class, when I had to draw a rat, I would be so sad. But watching Fruits Baskets gave me some appreciation for the year of the rat. Now that we're finishing up with Yuki, we are moving on to Shigure Soma. His zodiac spirit is the year of the dog. Shigure, he's a writer. He also has a passion for high school girls. In the original 2001 anime, he had a whole song about it. Like, they briefly mentioned it in the 2019, but like in the 2001 version of the show, it was just so hilarious. Shigure is kind of lazy, and one of his favorite activities is tormenting his poor editor, who is a little dramatic and a little over the top. He often pretends like he isn't home, or he goes on vacation just to mess with her, and she takes the extreme every single time this happens. I feel bad for that girl. How did the Somas transform into their zodiac counterparts, you may ask? Well, all they need is a hug from the opposite sex. This is how Tohru found out that Kyo, Yuki, and Shigure were all members of the Chinese zodiac. So I even created their zodiac counterparts. First off, I started with Kyo. He's just a cute little orange kitty. And then we have Shigure, which is a nice deep black dog. And then of course I couldn't create Yuki and CAS, but don't worry, he's still in there. Honestly, the animals didn't take long at all to do, and I'm currently building the Soma house. Pray for me. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but it looks horrible. Well, I think I'm going to end my journey here today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me, are you Team Kyo or Team Yuki? Let me know in the comments below. Bye, everyone.